Tonight, before you fall asleep, turn off every light in your room. Don't reach for your phone. Don't look outside. Just listen. The silence will feel different. Your eyes will search for shapes that aren't there. A jacket hanging on a chair suddenly looks like a person. A tiny sound feels much louder than it should. Your heart beats a little faster. You know you're safe, but your brain isn't completely convinced. Why? Because the fear of darkness is much older than your house, your city, or even your species. Long before humans built walls, locked doors, or invented electricity, night belonged to something else. For millions of years, darkness was the most dangerous time to be alive. When the sun disappeared, so did your greatest survival tool. Vision. Humans depend on sight more than almost any other sense. Our eyes are designed for daylight. Compared with animals like owls, wolves, or cats, humans see very poorly at night. While predators became stronger after sunset, our ancestors became weaker. Imagine standing alone on an African savanna 2 million years ago. The sun has disappeared. You hear grass moving nearby. You cannot see what caused it. Was it the wind? Or was it a lion waiting to attack? Your brain had only seconds to decide. If it ignored the sound and guessed wrong, you died. If it became frightened and nothing happened, you simply survived another night. Evolution rewarded the second choice. Over thousands of generations, cautious humans lived longer than fearless ones. That tiny advantage slowly shaped the human brain. Fear became a survival tool. Scientists call this the better safe than sorry principle. Evolution doesn't reward perfect decisions. It rewards surviving decisions. Could your brain still be following that ancient rule tonight? Research supports this idea. Psychologist Randolph Nesse has argued that anxiety often functions like a smoke detector. A smoke detector is designed to create false alarms. It is better to wake you unnecessarily than to miss a real fire. Your brain works in a similar way. It would rather scare you 10 times than fail once. That is why darkness feels different. In bright daylight, your brain receives constant visual information. Trees are trees. Shadows are harmless. People are easy to recognize. At night, much of that information disappears. Your brain hates missing information. Instead of accepting uncertainty, it begins filling in the blanks. That strange shape near the door becomes a possible person. A quiet creak becomes footsteps. An ordinary sound becomes a warning. This process is called threat detection. The brain is constantly asking one simple question: could this hurt me? When the answer is uncertain, your imagination often finishes the story. The amygdala plays a major role here. This small almond-shaped structure deep inside your brain helps detect danger. Brain imaging studies show that the amygdala reacts incredibly quickly to possible threats. Often, it responds before your conscious mind has fully understood what you're seeing. That is why you sometimes jump first and think later. Your body prepares for danger before your mind confirms whether danger actually exists. Children experience this even more intensely.
Young brains are still learning how to separate imagination from reality. A dark bedroom becomes the perfect canvas for monsters. As children grow older, logic becomes stronger. But the ancient survival system never completely disappears. Even adults feel uneasy walking through unfamiliar places at night. Now imagine the greatest invention in human history. Fire. Around 1 million years ago, controlled fire transformed human life. It provided warmth. It cooked food. It allowed families to stay awake after sunset. Most importantly, it pushed back the darkness. Predators often avoided flames. The circle of light became one of humanity's first safe spaces. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham argues that fire changed not only our diet, but also our social lives. People gathered together around glowing fires. Stories were told. Knowledge was shared.
Communities became stronger. Outside, the firelight remained uncertainty. Inside, the light was safety. Perhaps that ancient feeling still lives inside us. Even today, we instinctively switch on a light before entering a dark room. Not because we expect a predator, but because our brains still trust light more than darkness. Modern cities have changed our environment faster than evolution can change our biology. Electric lights have existed for little more than a century. Evolution works across thousands of generations. Our brains are still carrying software written for a prehistoric world. The darkness around us changed. The brain inside us changed much more slowly. That is why horror movies hide monsters in shadows. That is why abandoned buildings seem more frightening after sunset. That is why a familiar hallway can feel completely different with the lights off. The darkness itself is rarely dangerous. It is the uncertainty that unsettles us. Every shadow asks a question. Every unseen sound demands an explanation. And your brain prefers frightening answers over fatal mistakes. Tonight, when you switch off the last light, remember this. You are not fighting the darkness. You are listening to millions of years of evolution whispering that survival once depended on seeing what could not be seen. The night has changed. The predators have mostly disappeared. But the ancient brain inside your skull is still keeping watch. Perhaps the real mystery was never the darkness itself. It was the remarkable mind that learned to fear it so you could live long enough to see another sunrise.